Hi, I'm Tim Harris, head golf professional at Pelican Sound Golf River Club, alongside Kurt Stiegel, first assistant. We're here to talk to you about the rules of golf, but before we do, I'd like to talk about another topic that has been fresh on everybody's mind, especially since the regrassing of the golf course, and that's care of the golf course. Filling in divots, fixing ball marks, using the rakes and the traps the proper way. We're going to start here with filling in divots. One thing that a lot of you have come to me and talked about is noticing that a lot of divots aren't being filled in on the golf course by the golfers. It's a very simple process and one I want to go over, not only why you should do it, but how you should do it, okay? So if you take a look at here, we have 3 divots. The first one here that I point out is a divot that was taking, and sand was put in there, but it wasn't filled in all the way. It's kind of like an incomplete fill. The second one that you see here, a lot of sand was put in, but it was kind of splashed in. You can see some sand coming out over the edges, and it was probably too much sand was put into that divot. And then this one over here is the worst kind at all. No sand was put in at all. So some people may ask, well, does the sand have some kind of seed in it to make the grass grow? And the answer is no. Down in Florida, Bermuda grass pretty much grows in a horizontal fashion. So when we put sand into a divot, what it does is it fills in the gap and it allows the grass to grow over top of it and grow in quicker. But how much sand you put in there can make a big difference. So obviously with the first one, not enough sand was put in. So Kurt has some sand here. He's going to show you, he's going to fill in the rest of this one. And he's going to smooth it over. There we go. See, now that is filled properly because it's even with the edge of the grass. And now the grass can grow over the top of it properly. This one here, too much was put into it, okay? So the grass, as it grows over the top of it, will probably come in a little bit clumpy, So when you're filling in a divot, just be careful that you don't throw the sand down, and then it gets that splash effect, and too much sand goes into the divot, then the grass won't grow over it properly. Now this one right here that has none in it at all, okay? Thank you, sir. I'm going to fill this in and show you when you're out in the golf course, just kind of take your time, sprinkle it in like that. And if you have to smooth it over, go ahead and smooth it over. You can even smooth it over with your foot if you want to, just to smooth it out. But that's the proper way to fill in a divot. If you do happen to throw sand down in it, and I'll show you the splash effect here, what it does, I see people do this all the time. They throw it down like that, and the sand goes all over the place. Really not the proper way to fill in a divot, okay? So everyone, do your best to fill in your divots. We do provide sand on all the golf carts. And we have scoops, so you can use those. And for walkers, especially late in the day, we do ask that you do take sand that is provided to you. We have cylinders filled with sand that you can get at the bag staging area. And we also have fill stations that are on the golf course at the restrooms and all of the #1 tees. So we do ask that everybody do their best to keep the golf course in great shape, fill in your divots properly. We're going to go forward to the green now, and we're going to talk about fixing some pitch marks. Okay, fixing pitch marks on the green. You can see right here that we have a pitch mark on the green, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the proper way to use your divot tool to fix that pitch mark. What you want to be careful of is that you don't tear the roots when you are fixing the pitch mark. All divot tools have the 2 prongs, and the best way to fix these is to enter in around the perimeter on an angle. So as you can see, what I'm going to do here, if you want to zoom in close, is I'm going to enter the pitch mark at an angle on the outside going towards the middle. And I'm going to push inward towards the center as I go around. So I'm going into the side, and I'm pushing inward. I'll come around to this side, push in, come around to the other side, push it in. So as you can see, I'm pushing towards the center as I'm going around the pitch mark. And then I can tamp it down with a putter or a wedge or whatever club I have and smooth out the surface, okay? What you don't want to do is you don't want to enter in here and then push back, because what you're going to do is you're going to pull up the grass and you're going to tear the root structure. So in order to protect the roots, you always want to enter in at an angle, push in towards the center, and that kind of clumps everything up towards the center, and it raises the grass up, and then you can tamp it down with a putter or a wedge or whatever you have in your hand, or you can even use your foot, to smooth it out. Okay, so if everyone takes their time and make sure that they fix the ball mark correctly, as you can see there now, it looks like there never was a ball mark there. We're going to talk about rakes in the bunkers now and how you should handle the new rakes that we have just recently installed. Okay, so Kurt just hit a ball out of the sand bunker, and as I explained, we do have rakes that are in the bunkers now. So as he rakes up the shot that he just did, I'm going to talk a little bit about how we should replace the rake, okay? So first, if you look at how he's raking it, he's starting from the middle of the bunker and he's working his way back towards the edge, making sure that as he rakes, he's smoothing out any of the irregularities. And as he exits the bunker, okay, there are little yellow notes that are on the handles of the bunkers, of the rakes, I should say, excuse me, that say to leave the teeth in and the handle out of the bunker. So the best way to leave that handle out was to try to get the black handle part as close as they can to the edge, okay? One way you don't want to leave it out is if you put the teeth in up here and then have a lot of the handle sticking out of the bunker. We would like it if more of the black edge of the handle, the very end of the handle, was here towards the edge and into the grass, okay? And if we can all return the bunkers that way, it's a much cleaner appearance. It also helps out our maintenance crew during the day if they have to mow around the edges. So as you can see, he raked it up nice and smooth. He returned the rake in the proper way in the bunker, and now he can hopefully go ahead and make the putt. Okay, we're going to go over options for an unplayable lie. As you can see here, Kurt has hit his ball in a spot that he doesn't feel like he can get a good club on. So he's going to deem this ball to be unplayable, and we're going to go over the options that you have when you do declare your ball in an unplayable lie. The first option would be to go back to the original spot and drop as near as place as you can to the original lie. Problem with that is that you're going to lose the distance, so stroke and distance. So if this was Kurt's second shot that he hit up against a tree, he would have to go all the way back to where he last hit, drop 3, and then hit 4. So that's probably an option he wouldn't want to take. The second option he has is he can take 2 club lengths from where that ball lies, no closer to the hole, and he can drop there. He's going to have 1 club, arc, 2 club lengths. He's not gone closer to the hole. He can pick up his ball and he can drop within those 2 club lengths. So he's not losing the distance, but he is still losing the stroke. So he's dropping 3 and he's hitting 4 up to the green. Now there is a third option that you have when a ball is unplayable. Let's say we put the ball back in that original spot. The flag is in this direction over here. So we can probably pan out real quick. We're out here on river number 2. So you can draw a line from the flag stick all the way back to the golf ball here, and then extend that line beyond in this direction, and you can drop anywhere on that point, as far back as you'd like to go, as long as it stays in the field of play. Now, in this particular instance, might not be the best option you have because we have tall trees here, and when Kurt drops the ball back on that line, he's going to have to negotiate these trees somehow. So it is an option that you have. In this situation, probably not the best option that you would want, but those are the 3 options for an unplayable lie. Next, we're going to go up and we're going to talk about taking relief from a cart path and some of the situations you have there. Thanks. Okay, we're going to talk about taking relief from a cart path, but we're going to revisit it from the first video that we did a few months ago, and we're going to talk about nearest point of relief and what that means. You can see the ball here on the left side of the cart path. The hole is in this direction going this way. So Kurt's going to take his nearest point of relief, which happens to be on the side over here, which isn't very favorable for taking a drop, but it's still in play. It's not in a hazard, and unfortunately it is the nearest point of relief. So once again, just to let everybody know and remember, the nearest point of relief is the point of the golf course that is closest to where the ball lies. So as you can see over here, we have nice green grass, but unfortunately his ball is not over on this side of the cart path. It is on this side of the cart path. So his nearest point of relief would happen to be in an area that might not have the best conditions to drop. But he does have to take that relief there because it is an option. He can always go ahead and hit the ball if he wants to. That's always an option. If he doesn't feel like he's going to damage his club too much, he can go ahead and take that shot. But let's say he doesn't want to do that and he does want to take complete relief, and it is free. So what he's going to do is he's going to establish a stance. He's going to find the nearest point of relief, which would be right there. And he's going to get 1 club length, no closer to the hole from that spot, and find a place where he can drop within that 1 club length. So now that he's established the 1 club length, he's going to go ahead and take a drop. Okay, and that ball is in play. Now, if he deems that it's not complete relief and he feels like on his follow through that the club is still going to hit the cart path, then he can take relief until he finds complete relief. So in a case like this, you can see the cart path is a little bit raised. He may want to go back a little bit further because he does have to get, and he is entitled to free relief. So let me ask you, Kurt, do you think that your club is going to hit the cart path there if you take the swing?
I certainly do.
All right.
So I would, from this point, I would start the process over. I would take relief in a different way than I did this time. My ball was originally here. Again, I would come over this way a little bit further, stay away from the cart path.
Oh, it's very unfortunate. Now he does get to redrop that because it went outside of the 1 club length. It's actually probably pretty good that you did see that. It hit a wood chip and it kicked out more than a club length, so he's going to drop again. Now that ball stayed within the club length, no closer to the hole. So now that ball is in play. So he can establish his stance, he can go ahead and play. It is unfortunate that he has, you know, some bushes and things in his way, but you know, the option he took is for the nearest point of relief, and that's where it is. So that ball is in play now. It is complete relief. It is free relief. There is no strokes. He didn't have to take a penalty or anything, and he can go ahead and play the next shot.